finally another Alien movie coming out this decade that we will all remember. That'll be like ye olden days. I said good movies, didn't I? No One Will Save You is written and directed by Brian Duffield, stars Kaitlyn Dever, Elizabeth Kaluv, and Zach Duhame. It tells the story of a young woman who's been alienated from her community, finds herself in a face-off against a host of extraterrestrial beings who threaten her future while forcing her to deal with her past. Hello, you weird, beautiful movie lovers. My name is Louie, aka Movie Fandom, and today we're talking about No One Will Save You, which is the second movie from Brian Duffield, who previously directed the horror romance comedy Spontaneous, which I haven't seen yet, but I have on my watch list, so I hope to watch that, especially after watching this. So, this just dropped on Hulu, or for me, Disney Plus, today, and I was originally gonna review Cassandro, which I will get around to seeing since I really do want to watch it and review it. But I decided to watch this. And, one word. Well, two words. Surprising. And what the fuck? Okay, maybe they weren't two words, but still, overall, I really enjoyed this movie, and I'm gonna tell you why I think you should watch it. First off, Kaitlyn Dever is amazing in this movie, since the movie itself mainly stands with her, cause, well, basically, there's barely any dialogue. All we get is just some muffled words that we don't really hear a lot, but still, we kind of get what they're saying, but at the same time we don't. Either sometimes her saying some words, but it's not really a lot. It's just about two scenes with it, and also some in one song per se. And she carries this movie to its amount. She gives a great performance in here, and she carries the movie from beginning to end. You feel the emotions that she's going through, and you feel the anxiety that she is in a certain scene. And those scenes that happen, it just really fit with it, and I loved her performance in this movie. Like I said, the movie doesn't really have a lot of dialogue, and honestly, that's one of my favorite things about this movie, is that it shows and doesn't tell. I love that about this movie. Aside from movies that do not show and tell, like, per se, Mass and also Woman Talking, even though that does show at least some brief stuff in the beginning and end, but we don't really see a lot. Either way, this does a great job with it. And the horror that happens, like I said, you really feel it. And there are also certain scenes that are just terrifying. I wouldn't say it's terrifying as, per se, a Hereditary, per se, but it is pretty creepy, mainly with scenes in the house, and they are pretty creepy, especially the first one. In it, it's you feel confused like she is, and it is pretty creepy, admittedly, and I really like that about this movie. Also, the sound design with it was really great. I loved the sound design in this movie. It just kind of sucks that this wasn't released in theaters, because I think what would make this movie a lot more better for me is if it was released in theaters and also shown in IMAX also, because I think that would do a really good job in serving those kind of scenes justice. Also, I would say if you want to watch, I'd recommend turning your volume a little bit up, because I think it would mainly work with the setting, per se, for it and the sound of the movie. And I will say it is pretty effective with it. Also, this movie is 93 minutes, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. It doesn't overstay its welcome or understay its welcome, and I really appreciate that about this movie. Overall issues, I'd say, as the plot says, she is shunned by, her town. And admittedly, and we find out what she does, and I wish I didn't really do that, honestly. I kinda wish they didn't do something like that, but still, it is kind of effective, but either way, I just wish, they, I guess. And also, the best and worst parts is the CGI, per se. I love the CGI in this movie, and can I just say the designs of the aliens are great, even with them being the regular designs as we mainly know. I do think that they are great, and especially one that is basically Daddy Longlegs. If Daddy Longlegs was the giant praying mantis from Goosebumps, and add in a spider, if you say, and then turn that into an alien and I'm pretty sure you'd get that. But admittedly, sometimes when they interact with certain stuff, it doesn't really work that well. Two examples I can think of is with the same one, per se, where one basically destroys a door, and admittedly, it did feel a little weird when it interacted with it, and especially when, this is kind of a minor spoiler, but I'll try and say it, even if it makes it obvious, but I'll try and, say it at least in a way that doesn't fully give it away, even though that may be impossible, I guess, is where an alien is in a car and it lights on fire. And the fire on it didn't really interact with the outside of it, because, when you'd see the outside of the alien, it just looked weird, per se. It didn't feel like it interacted on what was inside the car, per se, and the CG fire, obviously. Even if it was real fire, I think maybe the alien itself in it just kind of ruined it, even though that scene was pretty cool. And also the ending itself, I don't hate the ending by all means. In fact, I kind of like the direction it goes with it making you want to talk about it a little more, and also giving a sort of a vibe to it. But admittedly, at the same time, I wish they took a different direction. But still, I don't know. The ending itself was a mixed bag. I both loved and hated it, and that's probably my biggest weakness with this movie, admittedly. But overall, I did really enjoy No One Will Save You, and I would recommend it. In fact, if you don't watch it right now, then I recommend saving this for at least sometime near Halloween, per se, because I think it would really fit with it. Overall, I give No One Will Save You a B+. Maybe a B, but I'm sticking with a B+ for now. We'll see at the end of the year, I guess. So, those are my thoughts on No One Will Save You. What did you think about this movie? Did you love it? Hate it? Let's disagree. Let's agree, disagree down below in the comments. Come and tell me. Like I said, I didn't review Cassandro, sadly, but I will hopefully review it after, or before or after I review the new Paw Patrol movie. And tomorrow I will have a review of Spy Kids Armageddon, and also in the following week I will have, reviews for The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar and The Creator. So, that's it right now. Stay awesome.